All right. Welcome to Mom and Pop Video Shop, our first live stream of 2024. And right off the bat, let me just say a quick shout out to Daniel B. It's going to be nice to catch us live. That's debatable, Daniel. Interesting side note, purely a technical thing because Tyson doesn't see it, but I do. Tell me if every once in a while you notice like almost like a little, it's not super stroby, but just in my box, if anybody doesn't mind letting me know if you notice like a weird light effect. Maybe it's just
you're out of your mind, Wang.
Yeah. So if you notice it, great. If you don't, well, life will go on. So, all right. And let me go back to my banners. Cool. So yes, welcome to the Bob Pop Video Shop. This is our live stream for 2024, first one. And we're going to keep this one pretty light. We originally had a guest, my good buddy Lou from Canada, unfortunately had one. Not unfortunate because it was something he had to do with his family. So I'm sure that definitely takes precedent. But something came up. He couldn't make it, but we are going to reschedule to have him on at a later date to talk about some cool stuff he's working on because he's a really cool dude and works on really fun, creative projects. So love talking to him. In the meantime, though, I figure we'll jump right into it and we will discuss what else, Tyson. What else could we discuss? But VHS. It is time for VHS talk. I feel like I have to create like a jingle or find something that's like a, cheesy 8-bit sound.
And I'm thinking like the old like
like a logo would come in. Yeah. VHS talk. Yeah, we need something like that. But I basically, I know you'll be shocked to learn that I collect VHS. I know it's mind blowing that I collect VHS or that I know, weird. I thought you were the only one, but it's like, no, turns out me too. But I also love to get not just old school in the wild at flea markets and thrift stores and Goodwills and Viper Video and basically secondhand. I love doing that. But we now live in this amazing land of milk and honey where we could get new VHS, or at least new to us, old movies that are basically being released on VHS by people, but also getting brand new movies that are being released to VHS. So either way,
what sort of brilliant mind would concoct such?
Well, I will share with you. Funny you should ask, Tyson. I will share with you a couple that I've gotten in relatively recently. And right off the bat, we have stuff from the one and only Brainbuster Video. Now, if you don't know about Brainbuster, we interviewed them on the channel fairly early on. So go back in the old archives and find that from several months ago. Earlier in 2023, we had them on. Zach.
I think it's look for one of our videos from Spookala.
I think it was Spookala. I'm 99% sure it was Spookala. Yes. The one in April. Yeah. So, we talked to Zach. He is the proprietor of Brainbuster and his awesome wife, Luna, and she does She-Wolf Media. And in fact, I don't know if you can see it, probably not, but right there, I've got some art that she did, which is so cool. But recently I got, and I want to share the covers with everybody. That's the main reason why I want to do this. So I'm also using my new camera, Tyson, for my webcam. So hopefully that's not the problem. So I've got Suspiria. I don't know if you can.
Oh shit! I haven't seen that yet. I mean, I haven't seen Brainbusters.
Oh yeah, the cover. Yeah, it's great. It reminds me.
Awesome.
And I'm sure this is intentional. It totally has those like young adult horror novel vibes, like from the 80s, like the R.L. Stine, Christopher Pike, Fear Street, or all those different ones. Yeah. So on the back we got. Yeah, we got the stuff on the back, and as always with Brainbuster, they always include a sticker of some sort, and they doll up the tape. So this one has the like blood spatter effect on it. So
it's the Goblin. It's the Goblin.
Yeah, the Goblin. Yes, too, I didn't even realize that till you said it. Yep, yep, it is. So I love Brainbuster. Huge fan. Now they're selling these as art pieces. But you never know. If you were to slip this into a VCR, there might be a surprise. Maybe.
That's our official stance.
Yes,
If you have a
indeed.
VCR, throw one in there and see
Indeed.
what happens.
Indeed. And recent, this is the most recent one that I got from them. I got with the, I'm assuming it looks like it could be Japanese, but it also might be like the Thailand cover. Either way, it's amazing. Troll 2. The Troll 2 cover.
Oh my God.
And so we got the back. And what I really love,
I think we're setting records because I guarantee you we're the only people on the interwebs tonight talking about Troll 2 and
a brand new released VHS version of it. Yeah.
Setting records here at Mom and Pop Video Shop.
Yes, indeed. So what I love too is how they, with the design of the back, because they always, they leave like stickers and all kinds of stuff, but all of the copy is in whatever language that is that I don't understand. So I thought that was cool. But what I love about this one especially, so first off, it's the green tape. It's got a sticker here for Nilbog Home Video, right? And then the sticker that came with it, hold on, I don't want to drop it. I love this. Hopefully you can see it. It says, "You can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it." Can you see it?
I love it.
It's the dad. So always amazing. Zach, you've outdone yourself yet again, my friend. So that is the Brain Buster tapes.
Can I call an audible and throw in something like
special? Please. Yeah, absolutely.
Right now?
Yeah.
I just realized I don't think we've gone over this yet on the show, and it dawned on me that right above my head I have a Brain Buster. I think we picked this up in maybe October, but I don't know if we've covered this yet. I don't think so. But this is the Freddy's Nightmare
Season 1
tape.
Yes.
The entire Season 1 of Freddy's Nightmare, which, unless I'm mistaken,
that's hard to get.
You cannot find.
Oh, you can find it
on streaming anymore.
But you can find it on VHS if you want to, take a second mortgage out on your house and buy the tapes.
Yes,
and then you can get it.
And if Chris Sodom, my buddy Chris, is watching, that son of a bitch, I bought him an original Nightmare on Elm Street or Freddy's Nightmares on VHS and took a second mortgage on my home. So he better have watched it by now, because otherwise I want it back.
And I'm assuming that was just that was probably just a couple episodes, not the full season.
Yeah, it wasn't a full season. It was like 4 or 5 episodes. And
dude, but it's they're not cheap.
Forked over 50 back. This was 10 years ago, and I probably forked over $50.
And it's not. It's usually where I find them. They're pushing 3 figures, easy. Yeah. Usually.
Sometimes so anyway, so the stickers. I don't know if you can see that. It might be too dark in my office, but Freddy's Nightmares Season 1. I can't.
Got a little glare, but that's okay. If you turn it at like an angle, maybe the glare won't be. There you go. Yeah, that's cool.
Trying my best here.
Yeah, I have that one over on the shelf. Yeah.
Decorated. But anyway, that's pretty cool because
that's great.
To your point, right now, I don't know what old Zach at Brainbuster is charging, or if he's got any of Freddy's Nightmares in stock, but I can practically guarantee you that he has probably got the best price out there for his prices are crazy reasonable. Very reasonable. Artwork.
Yes.
What happened to you?
Oh, you can't see me? What happened?
Yep. Now I'm seeing. I am seeing like when we bleep something out. I'm seeing all the rainbow.
But you can hear me.
Lines.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
I can hear you just fine.
So this is gonna be one of
anybody
those.
Else watching? I'm not paying attention. Is anybody else watching? Can you see Joel, or is it just
probably
me?
Not. Give me 1 second. I think I know why. Hold up. I know why.
This is like one of those scenes, like straight up Dawn of the Dead, where I'm ready to get like a public service announcement that the dead are returning and eating the living.
Oh, there it is. There I am.
Back.
I'm back. My camera, and I hope if it does it again, I'm going to go to my laptop cam. But it shut itself off, which it's not supposed to do when it's plugged in. Okay. I don't think I got the memo. Okay, we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But let's see here. Oh, it said, Jacob says, nope, he's gone. But I'm back, Jacob, for better or worse, depending on your point of view. But thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
What's up, Jake?
All right. So next up, and by the way, what I was trying to do when it went off on me was I was going to bring up on Etsy. If you go to Etsy, that I believe is unless you're going to a con in the Central Florida area, which by all means, if you are,
which you should do,
if you can,
you should look for these two sexy guys and come say hi.
I assume you're referring to someone else.
Especially you, Jake. You need to get down here and come to a con. When's the next one coming up that we're going to do anyway? Are we doing?
I believe. Well, I'm going to Sci-Fi Bartow for sure in February. I'd love it if you, I'd love it if you could make it to that.
What's the date on that, Joel?
The 17th of February, I think. It's a Saturday. I'm 99% sure it's the 17th.
It might be doing a kiddo's.
Oh, of course. What a nice excuse that is. Right. Taking care of your child.
I love Sci-Fi Bartow, dude. That's like our first date, man.
Yeah, it was. That's how we met with Sci-Fi Bartow. Yeah. And those that don't know, for those that don't know, Sci-Fi Bartow is literally it is a farmer's market for geeks. They do it every year. I think this is the 11th year. I'm pretty sure. I've gone almost every year. I think that we might have missed the first couple, but I've gone.
Dude, it's getting massive though, right?
Oh, like
it seems.
I think they had like 20,000 people. Year. They add blocks. It's like they take up the entire time. Bartow's actually where they shot. Those that don't know, My Girl. And and Daniel B says he lives within walking distance of Viper Video. I am jealous, Daniel, because actually I'm not, because if I lived within walking distance of Viper Video, I would not
be homeless.
I would not have any money left. It would be right. It's probably for the best I have to drive.
Why do you need this much insurance on your home?
I don't just because I have too much crap in it now. But yeah, so yeah, you're lucky. You're a lucky one. I'm going to bring up here real quick. This is the Brainbuster Etsy shop, just so you can check it out. But currently they have They Live, which I have this in my collection for $22 for this.
Was that the Devil's Gate, Heaven's Gate cult leader guy? Go back up to his banner at the top.
Oh, his banner? It might have been. I think they did do a video that had something to do with cults at some point. It may be. I don't see him, but if you say so.
He disappeared. I'm totally seeing things down at the bottom right. I swear it was the.
Well, I see the stash. Yeah, there. Yeah. So the stuff, they've got one for the stuff currently. Halloween 3, and they got 3 different type. You got orange tape, white tape, green tape, pearl. That's what's cool is they do old school stuff like in the trick or treat, but then they got new stuff. For that 12-year-old in your life that loves her, Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Simpsons movie. Scream. Keep
your voice down, or I'm going to end up having to order a damn Eras tour on VHS.
I got you. Yes. They also have something for the adults in the audience. Like when I first saw this, I from a glance, I was like, "Oh, that's Evil Dead," and then I realized, "Oh, wait, no, it's Evil Head."
Every time I see the Brainbuster booth at a show too, I do the same thing. I pick it up. I'm like, "Oh, Evil." I'm like,
"Oh, wait, no, that's a porno."
Wait a minute.
And he does. What's really cool is he'll do things by request too. I don't know how much more he charges for those, but he does them custom made. So I know I have a couple that he hasn't done yet that I'm gonna be like, Zach, you ever gonna?
We should put a list together.
Yeah, you ever gonna do like keep under the stairs, Stepfather?
Let's talk to Zach here. And this seriously, you heard it here first. We should do a mom and pop video shop collect. You know how they have like the Criterion collection?
Yeah.
For certain stuff, we need to do a mom and pop video shop where like half a dozen. We'll give Zach half a dozen titles that we handpick.
Sure. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, and he'll be like, "That's great. So how much are you paying me?" Actually, he's not like that at all. I wouldn't blame him though. But regardless, it would be worth it because his work is amazing.
Do it for the exposure. And the
Oh yes, he would definitely do it for the exposure from our massive channel. Our massive channel.
I know.
All right, now the next one, I am sad. I have yet to. I started watching it, but I have not gotten a chance to really dig in, and I want to. This one comes from a site that I know all the people out there that are watching that they are watching or that would be into this kind of thing. Oh, actually, hold on. Daniel says, and this would be a cool one. He says, "I would like your next on VHS." Yeah, and that's the kind of thing I could totally see him doing. I could see anything modern-ish because your next is. I mean, it's probably what is that? Is that 10 years old now? Give or take. I feel like it's in that ballpark. Is it really? Wow. I'm getting old.
I'm gonna go
2012. I was thinking like 2012.
I'm gonna say 2009.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Well, 2012 would be more than 10 years too. I just realized I said 2012 like it was less than 10 years ago. It's like, no, doofus, that was 12 years ago. So Lunch Meat VHS, which I had heard of prior to digging in with all the mom and pop video shop stuff, but I never really got like did a deep dive with them, but now I'm like on their Patreon and I'm like ordering tapes from them probably far more than I should be. I've got another one coming. Actually, it should be en route here. It's what's it called? It's something zombie in Sector 9. It looks awesome. I cannot wait for this one. The tape looks awesome. The movie looks awesome.
About that?
I think we might have offline talked about it at some point. But this one is amazing. It's called Grandma. It is a shot on video horror flick. And what I love about Lunch Meat too is they always do these great clamshells, which is just, it's so good. Like, I don't know if you can see the woman. I'm assuming it's a woman wearing someone's face. Very, very Leatherface-esque on the back. But yeah, the warning, this film contains scenes of a graphic and violent nature. It's unrated.
Jake's on the, by the way, Jake's on the fast track to one of those bands that we can do that we've never tried. Did you catch that?
My vote would be for Glitter. Is that the was that the Mariah Carey movie?
Hey, I'm pretty sure that asshole got me that for Christmas one year, by the way. So thanks, Jake. I don't know what it's probably. Nice. I'm sure it's on the shelf somewhere. So I really got it. I think the only goofy presents I think I've ever gotten for you is I got you the book of whatchamathingy, the one we were early on. Always Prince of Tides. Prince of Tides.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this just in, your next was 2011. So I was close. Well, no, did I win because I went over? I was closest, but I went over.
Yeah, we can't split the difference. I said 2009, so you were still closer, but
I went over, to be fair.
I'll give you credit.
So just a quick little overview of this. A young woman inherits a fortune and purchases an old rundown bed and breakfast in the countryside. Little does she know this seemingly idyllic inn harbors a gruesome history. Decades ago, it was Grandma's bed and breakfast, a place marred by the mysterious disappearances of out-of-town guests, all linked to the elusive Grandma. Now, as the new owner and her friends endeavor to renovate the property, they awaken a malevolent presence determined to protect its dark secrets. Is Grandma back from the dead, or is a sinister successor lurking in the shadows? And all I knew is the second I saw that cover and heard the synopsis, it's a shot on video horror flick. And also the tagline is, the most frightening member of the family is hungry for more than just pie. She will eat you alive, Grandma. So that's Lunch Meat VHS. Super glad I have it. I need to finish. Well, I guess I probably seen like the first 10 minutes, and what I saw I liked. I just haven't watched it yet. Not in its entirety. Let's see here. We've talked
about this too, but it would be awesome one of these days, either on I'm sure Doc Shock does.
Yeah, and I
either on a live stream or some kind of interview. We need to get the dudes from Lunch Meat on our show.
I'd love that. Yeah, Josh Schaefer, awesome, right? The main guy behind it. I would love that. It'd be awesome. So yes, Doc Shock owns everything, unironically. Even if he gets that everybody else would see it ironically, he's like, no. For me to own every movie that's ever existed, I can't do any of it ironically. So you would be correct. And then Jacob says Glitter was an Iraq care package, I think. So it's not bad. It's not bad enough you were at war.
And here's what's weird. I can't remember shit. We established this the other day. I was playing concentration with my 9-year-old, and 14 out of 52 cards is what I managed to hold. So but long term, I can tell you, Jake, I think I got not only Glitter, but I think Jake sent me Captain Ron on DVD, which was cool, and maybe Pumping Iron, the Arnold documentary.
Okay,
maybe.
So
I got a lot of shit sent to me, but I think he's right though.
Yeah,
that's the kind of love that you get, folks.
Yep,
from your best friend when you go to war. That's the care pick. That's what. Well, I'm not gonna lie.
Or from a passive-aggressive friend who you somehow dissed before you left, and
there's worse things. I guess there's worse things to stare at for 90 minutes than Carrie when you're
fair enough. And Captain Ron is not a good movie, but it has Kurt Russell in it, so it immediately gets like an extra like 6 points.
Dare you? It's a fantastic movie. Thank you very much.
Is it though? I'm much more of an Overboard. If we're gonna go with cheesy.
And what about Bob?
What about Bob?
What about Bob?
Okay, well, that's a great movie. I watch that like every year. So,
what about Bob? Captain Ron and Mr. Kurt Russell's my favorite guy in the world, but I hate everything he did except for The Thing and Snake Plissken and
no, I just said Overboard and Tequila Sunrise. Although you know what's funny, I didn't like Tango and Cash. Isn't that weird? You'd think I would love it, but I don't. Big Trouble, obviously. That goes without saying. All right, moving on. By the way,
Jake sent me Tango and Cash too.
Oh, did he?
Never
I'm
mind.
sorry.
I take back every mean thing I just said about him.
I was gonna say maybe. I was gonna say he actually was trying to kill you. All right. So now the last two are a recent collection editions, and they're with new movies, but they're done in an old school manner with someone who we've already recorded an interview with, but at least the first part of the interview, we'll most likely be doing a follow-up with Anthony Moran, the director of Strong Arm. This is Strong Arm. I love these. By the way, the clamshells he used, dude. When you see these in person, Tyson, they're so perfect. Like they just look like they were stuck in somebody's closet, since like 1988. Yeah, they're great. And so we got Strong Arm, and here's the back of it. And then we've got his most recent one is Let Us In, and that's kind of a zombie-ish horror apocalypse kind of vibe with lots of cool, gory special effects, bikers and whatnot. Yep. And I love, by the way, on Strong Arm, he brought the war back home to the streets. I love it. I love that stuff so much. It's great. And I just
finished.
Go ahead.
I said I just finished watching a big documentary about Charles Bronson, and obviously the last quarter of his career was the Death Wish era. So that's what that always reminds me of.
That kind of thing. Yeah. But what's cool about Anthony is that he is very dedicated. He's from Detroit, and he's very dedicated to making films in Detroit. He's a very cool guy, and we got to talk to him for over an hour. I think we went over an hour with him, and we will hope to have him back on again. But that'll be released next week. I think is the game plan. I'm planning on releasing that sometime next week. And let's see here. Daniel says he said gorilla, not to gorilla.
That's a Captain Ron line. You wouldn't know because you don't like it. Big difference. Huge difference.
You know what? If I'm being actually completely honest, I'm not sure I watched it the whole way through. Like, I think I started it at one point and I just was like, it was messed up. It's Martin Short, right? I love Martin Short. It's Martin Short and Kurt Russell, two people I absolutely love. And no, go fig. Weird world we live in, my friend. So anyway, that is the latest collection. When I get the next one in from Lunch Meat, the next time we do a stream, I should have it by then, and a couple other ones coming in. I'm sure I'll have something else from Brainbuster because I'm constantly ordering stuff from them. I
would just like to add too about Anthony about Strong Arm. I fully support any film that, as a movie poster, uses a man in a ski mask.
Yes, which, as you'll see,
Chris is watching. I know Chris will support that as well.
Oh, and then he definitely is going to want to watch our interview. Yeah, and he'll want to watch the interview. Am I right? Yeah, I won't say why, but here's a tease. Ski masks play heavily into our interview, and it makes sense within the context of the interview. So, and then Daniel says, best line of the movie, which I guess is saying something, that the gorilla line is the best line of Captain Ron. But then again, that's coming from a guy who likes Overboard and has watched it multiple times, so I will shut up now. All right, so let's move on to our main event. If you're ready, Tyson.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it is. So
okay, well, surprise. We are doing 2024 reboots, sequels, prequels, recalls, reimaginings, and more. I was going to call it like our top 10 list, but that implies that these are like the movies we're most excited and they're not all just movies. I think most of what I have is movies. Actually, I take it back. I think these are all movies. But you mentioned a TV show that I completely brain farted on that I actually am excited about, which was
Crystal Lake.
Yes, the Friday the 13th.
I think that's. I don't know if that's the working title. I don't know if it's official.
I think it's official. I think it's a legit project, but it's supposed to come out this year. Before. I think. Yeah.
Well, we've seen.
No. I mean, like, I think they've already been. I think they've been making it. Yeah, there's a difference between. There's a difference between. It's in development.
You know how this stuff goes.
Oh, son of a gun! It did it again. It did it again.
We lost it again.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch over. This just did. I'm switching cameras.
The dead are returning to eat
there we go.
The living.
All right, hold on. Let me lower that. There we go. Cool. All right, we're going to go with this. And I'm going to have
dude, that was a good recovery, though. I was
Thank you. And I got to do this really weird thing.
That's
now.
good shit.
Where I'm going to have to come right up to the camera and do this move because it gets all smudgy.
What the hell kind of show is this?
I know you don't want to know. No, the worst part is that I've got these like.
Hey, that's a sweet Fright Night 2 VHS over your right shoulder there, though.
Oh, you saw that, did you? Oh, by the way,
I think this was all. I think this was all planned.
So here's the funniest part: is that I remember during. That's come out yet, right? Since we're doing this, like
yeah.
I think it's already come out.
A couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. So somebody made a point about like how much it was on eBay, and I actually ended up getting this for not that bad. I think it was like $14 or $12. It wasn't that bad because I think in the review we're like, oh, this is what, because there was a window and there were a few where people were asking like stupid amounts. You're like, why would I pay you $40 when this guy over here is asking 12, dude? That doesn't make
I'm 99% sure though DVD is still going to cost you 3 figures.
Unless it's the bootleggy kind that you have a good friend like Rick who might send you, which he did me. And I believe actually, I think Hammond had sent me one a long time ago, and I'm sure I've got it somewhere, but Rick sent me the one that he had.
I wish I had degenerate friends like you that would do that.
Yeah,
all my friends just send me copies of Glitter and
Captain Rod and Tango and Cash, because maybe your friends secretly really don't like you, Tyson.
No, which I still adore and still have. I don't know about Glitter, but I know I have Captain Ron and Tango and Cash literally behind me somewhere.
All right, so let's do this. So here's the thing. I picked, all right, technically it's more than 10, but 3 of the movies I'm going to count as 1, and it will make sense in a second. But
I'm glad to do this because I mentioned kind of earlier that you know how I am about previews and shit like that anyway. Like, I don't have a clue what's coming out this year.
Yes.
So this is
I have not watched previews, I don't think, for any of these. I'm pretty sure I've seen a trailer for any of these. So let me go ahead and share screen. First up, share. I wish StreamYard didn't do that thing where whenever I go to share it, like it flips me over to that. And I know it flips me over to whatever I'm sharing, but then I have to come back into StreamYard to add it to the screen. Well, it's weird.
There goes our StreamYard sponsorship.
Well, whatever. I'm not a corporate shill, Tyson. All right. So right off the bat, I don't know if you heard about this, but we are getting
vaguely.
We are getting The Strangers Chapter 1. But here's the thing. We're not just getting The Strangers Chapter 1. We are also getting I'm have to stop.
Oh, I just saw who directed it.
Yes, we're getting. Hold on, I gotta bring up the. This is gonna take forever to do this.
We're getting some fucking neon fanny packs, is what we're getting.
Oh yeah, we should wear those opening day. All right.
Yeah, we should.
And we're getting. Wait, hold on. Let me get back to it. This is get too many things open. Strangers Chapter 2, also directed by the same person. And I'm not going to bother going back to the other screen. Yes. But yeah, we are getting The Strangers Chapter 3. We're getting a trilogy of Strangers movies from the one
that I did not know.
And the only, in case people can't see it, Rennie Harlan. And
I can't do the Rennie Harlan voice like our friends over at Primetime Bitch.
Oh yeah, Dead City Drive-In. Yeah, they do
shout out to.
Oh yeah,
Brandon, but I think they only do it on Primetime Bitch. So shout out to those
are you
guys.
Sure? I think Chris, when we met him at
I'm pretty
Tampa Bay Screams, he was the one that was doing that amazing. That wasn't for Primetime Bitch, though. That was for Dead City Drive-In, wasn't it?
Oh,
I think Chris. Yeah, pretty sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is that on one of the shows, Rennie Harlan makes frequent appearances.
Yeah. Which is it's amazing. You got to have that block of cocaine in your fanny pack.
So here's the thing, I've never actually gone and looked through every single Rennie Harlan project, but there's always like that. I remember they did it in Cliffhanger and in Deep Blue Sea. There's like he does a very similar shot of somebody like hanging and this dramatic, where they're about to fall. Obviously the beginning of Cliffhanger, and then in Deep Blue Sea where like the ladder falls and she's hanging and the shark comes up. Anyway, it's several of his projects. It's like his signature thing.
It's like a signature image.
I'm wondering if we see something like that.
Oh, we might. We very well might.
I like how many Strangers. We've only had 2 Strangers movies so far.
And I've only seen the first one. I didn't. I've heard the second one's good. I haven't seen it. I've seen the first one.
Yeah, so I've seen both of them and I like both of them. So
okay, I've heard good things.
This is a rare occasion where a sequel. You did say this is a prequel, I imagine, right?
Yes, I believe it's going to be prequels. It's a trilogy.
Based on the title.
Hold on, now that you say that, hold up. So the first one, Chapter 1, says a young couple drive cross country toward a new beginning. Unfortunately, they have no choice but to stop, and it's included Airbnb in Oregon. So we're getting Airbnb horror like Barbarian, which makes me happy, and endure a night of terror against 3 masked strangers. Now, here's the thing. First off, I'm a fan of Rennie Harlan movies. I get the Cutthroat Island was garbage, but look, Mike, it's hilarious. He's one of the directors my kids.
With Gina Davis.
Yes, but here's the thing. He did Long Kiss.
That's all the Rennie Harlan I'm doing, by the way.
Okay, Long Kiss Goodnight. Did you ever see that with Gina Davis?
With Gina Davis.
Yes. Yes. That movie's awesome. And that's one of those movies where when anybody wants to do their, it's a new thing for there to be strong female leads. Yeah, well, you haven't seen Long Kiss Goodnight, have you? Chump change. By the way, real quick.
Or what was the one with, sorry.
I don't know. But Daniel said, Jay the Dead will be happy. I think that's referring to The Strangers. You are correct. I'm pretty confident he'll be happy, even when he realizes this is Rennie Harlan directing it. But have you ever seen Prison, his first film? That's a great movie.
With
Rennie Harlan's first, I think it's his first film. Viggo Mortensen.
And Kane Hodder.
That's right. Kane Hodder's in it. Yep.
That is the John Carl Buechler and Kane Hodder connection.
Where they met.
That's why, that is the reason that Kane, now I know you know this, and most people probably watching this do, but anybody that might not, that is how Kane Hodder got cast to play Jason in Friday the 13th, Part 7.
And I loved that movie. I haven't seen it in years, but I loved it. I loved his Nightmare on Elm Street 4 because I'm a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan, but I love 4.
I think it's on the YouTubes.
What, 4 or Prison?
Prison, sorry.
Okay. And I love, and my kids now have seen, I think, almost more Rennie Harlan movies than any other director. They've seen Deep Blue Sea. We watched that last summer. They've seen Die Hard 2. We watched that this Christmas. They've seen
Jake, if you're still on here, I know buddy Jake is a big fan of the Deep Blue Sea soundtrack.
Deep Blue Sea is great. I forgot how much I love that movie. That movie's fun. That's a fun movie.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. And the CGI sharks don't look as garbed because they did a good mix of animatronic and CGI, I think, in that one still. It wasn't like everything was CGI. And then I loved Cliffhanger. I showed that to my kids recently. I love that movie.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And Long Kiss Goodnight is a underappreciated classic action flick. I love that movie. It's great. I think Shane Black.
I think I have it on the. Yeah, I think I have it on the shelf somewhere.
Oh, it's so good, dude. It's such a great movie. I love that movie.
So real quick, we're talking about sequels, and specifically, I'm assuming you're talking about horror sequels, but if I'm not mistaken, aren't we getting a Cliffhanger sequel this year?
That is the rumor that we have. Yes. Now, is
that a Rennie Harlan project? Because
no, I don't think so,
dude. I mean, you talk about like, is he just going on like one giant coke fueled movie after movie after movie?
Allegedly. I will say this. I don't think it was. I remember looking it up, and his name I didn't see on it. It's mostly, I think, Stallone driven. But the problem is it's going to be one of those where he's basically like in it, but it's barely in it. I didn't see Expendables 4, but I heard that was a big knock on that movie. Besides other issues, was that Stallone has like a glorified cameo. It's like, wait a minute, no.
Did I see Expendables 4? Oh, I haven't seen.
I've only seen 1 and 2, and 2 I thought was garbage. So I didn't see 3, which I actually probably would have liked because I think that's the one that Mel Gibson played the bad guy, and I would have liked Mel Gibson in it. But hey, here we are. I love the first one. The first Expendables was great. I honestly,
why do you hate Kurt Russell and Mel? You hate Kurt Russell and Melvin Gibson.
That is a lie, and that is a vicious, vicious lie. And I will say, Expendables to me is so wonderfully testosterone fueled. Not only did I grow extra pubes, but my wife had a beard when we came out. It was amazing. That's how much testosterone.
And there's a hell of a joke I could make. But I'm not even. You know what?
You're not gonna do it?
I got more class than that.
Oh, do you though? All right. So hat
is
like a
shark fin.
Is that the LL Cool J?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So what my youngest son, my youngest son Parker loves rap, and he loves LL Cool J. And when he saw he was in it, my kid's seen enough horror to know. Oh man, I was like, what? He goes, he's gonna be dead in the first 10 minutes. I said, don't be so sure.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. You might have a pleasant surprise, young man. It's great stuff. Okay, so moving right along. I'm going to close these out so I don't accidentally open up the wrong ones again. So that's The Stranger. That I will say I'm interested. I'm not going to poo-poo that one horribly.
Me neither.
One I'm less interested in. I have yet to watch the trailer. I just have not been hearing like rumblings. I think I think on a Film Threat, Chris Gore and Alan Ng covered the trailer for this one, and they had things to say if memory serves. A lot of times I'm listening to like their live streams recorded when I'm falling asleep, so I only hear like part of it. But the first,
I do that every once in a while with Retro Movie Geek too. I just want to throw.
Oh, do you? That's got to give you nightmares.
There's nothing like waking up at 3:30 in the morning to the sultry tones of Daryl Taylor,
or Joel going, "What?"
Right. Exactly.
All right, so we've got the first Omen.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly my response.
Anybody we know associated with this?
So here's the thing. No, not that I can see. Arkasha Stevenson is the director. Never. I'm assuming it's a her. Never heard of her. Writers I've never heard of. Although Keith Thomas, that sounds vaguely familiar, but I might be just confusing it with Keith David. Bill Nighy. So I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's the only one I recognize.
Yeah, I don't recognize anybody else. Nell Tiger Freed.
So,
Charles
quick,
Dance.
what is this?
Charles Dance is in it. Sonia Braga, cool. I know she is. That's cool. Okay, there's a couple of people I recognize. But basically,
strong talent.
Yeah. So here's the premise. Okay, a young American woman is sent to Rome to begin a life of service to the church, but encounters a darkness that causes her to question her faith and uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate. So I have a feeling it's
an original concept.
Well, it's a prequel, so it's obviously the things that lead up to the Gregory Peck character getting Damien, right? She must work in the hospital where the woman who gives birth to Damien is, and whether they switch it with a goat and all that crap. I'm guessing all of that will be in this. Not that we needed to see all of it. We didn't ask for it, whatever. Here's where we are. My biggest concern is rather than going for subtlety, I haven't watched the trailer yet. It's only a minute long, but I'm worried it's going to be the Pope's Exorcist. Did you see the Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe?
I did.
I didn't. Did you like it?
I didn't hate it.
I didn't like it, dude. I thought it was too much CGI. It was just way too it went like over the top.
There was a lot of CGI.
And it was just so like, oh, it's so scary. It's like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't scary at all, man. I feel like possession movies need to be more subtle for them to really be creepy. You remember The Last Exorcist, the found footage documentary-ish, faux documentary movie? I remember that being scary and creepy as hell. I love that movie.
Yeah.
The Exorcism of Emily Rose, I remember really liking. And there's a lot that, other than The Exorcist and Exorcist 3, which I love, there's other ones I do like.
Well, and that's the thing. We've established before that one of my many kryptonite subgenres, if you will, is religious, specifically possession type movies. I'm a sucker for it. I think it's the My Being Raised Catholic.
I was going to say it probably has something to do with it. Yes.
I think I'm getting an Amazon package too. So if you hear the Hounds of Hell come tearing into, that would be why. Well, I feel like my job tonight is to derail every conversation we're having. So let me ask you real quick.
Okay.
What's the last name a good prequel for a horror property that you think they did well? I have one that jumped right out at me, but I want to see if you can think of one, because we might be surprised with this. That's all I'm saying. Is I don't.
I'm not. Look, here's the thing. Despite my being snarky about this stuff, I go to every movie praying and hoping. No pun intended with First Omen, but praying that it's going to be at least marginally decent. Like, I don't want any movie to suck, but if they suck, they suck. Mm-hmm. And and I'm going to be less considerate of that fact if it's like a bigger Hollywood produced thing, especially from a studio, than I am, say, for an indie or a super no budget kind of movie. I give a lot more leeway, because I'm sorry, if you got millions of dollars to spend and you're riding on the coattails of an established property, it's on you to make this good or not do it.
To get it right.
I would say, I'm trying to think of a prequel. Well, I was thinking the Bates Motel, but that's like almost like its own thing. It's like, it's not like where I was like, this is amazingly good. I loved Bates Motel.
I guess where I'm going is because let's face it, we hear that a prequel to a well-established pillar of horror films is coming out, and our immediate reaction is to poo-poo it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the first one that came to mind for me that I actually remember being like, okay, I like this, was well, and you could argue the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You mean the 2003? Yes. Yes.
The R Lee Ermey prequel
with Jessica Biel, right?
Not
Jessica
obviously
Biel?
not the that was the original, but then the prequel I think was Jordana Brewster.
You're right. The one that came out 2003 with Jessica Biel, that was more of a reboot remake kind of deal, right?
A reboot. So then they did a prequel of the reboot, and that's where I was saying where you could argue. But
I've never
seen that?
It. No, never saw the beginning.
Joel,
I know
you need to. Well,
and I love the 2003 one.
Because
we both that came out around 2005ish, 6ish.
Yeah. Oh, is that when you were having babies?
Yeah, it's when babies were starting to happen. So it's feasible that is my go-to excuse for why there's a
for whatever reason when you're having babies you can't watch horror stuff. Meanwhile, I had this discussion the day. I can remember rocking like 10-month or 10-day-old Ava in the living room watching Humanoids from the Deep. Distinctly remember.
Which is kind of weird on like multiple levels.
Nothing puts a crying infant to sleep like
I feel like that's a weird one on multiple levels when I think about that movie. All right, so hold on, we got a couple of hold on.
Okay,
here we go.
Well, so anyway,
go ahead. What are you gonna say?
They'll probably get a rabbi to fight the devil,
they might. Maybe. They might do some. That's how they'll do it. They'll instead of like gender or race swapping characters, they'll religious swap.
Dude, let me tell you something right now, though. So we've talked about this. You know that I've gotten into just studying occult and different religions and things like that. Man, there are some scary stories that come out of the Jewish faith. So
like myths and legends and whatnot.
We need more Jewish horror. Yes, man. The Dybbuk box and all that stuff.
Is that like the Hellraiser? The lament.
Do you remember? So do you remember the? I think the movie was The Possession with Negan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan came out.
Okay,
maybe 10 years ago. So there's true story. The Dybbuk box. Somebody bought a Dybbuk box, and a Dybbuk box in a nutshell is a Jewish, basically like a mini sort of shrine that allegedly contains a Dybbuk is a spirit of the Jewish faith, a very malevolent spirit. And this
I feel like I've heard of that. Yeah,
supposedly a true story where somebody bought it at a yard sale and all hell broke loose, and they get passed on and on and on. And now I believe that original that all this stuff was based on is sitting in the haunted museum in Las Vegas that's run by Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures.
Oh.
Anyway, so they did a movie. Jeffrey Dean Morgan did a movie about that.
I don't remember the movie. I've heard of that. I've heard of that box, but I don't even remember the movie, to be honest with you. Real quick, Daniel says the Thing prequel was good. Actually, you know what? I didn't see that until was it right before I started on HMP or right after? It was somewhere in this. This was about 2019-ish. I didn't see it for a long. Because it pissed me off so much that they had never done anything, and which is hilarious because 82's The Thing is just a remake. So my hypocrisy is not lost on me.
50. What was 56?
56-ish,
the original?
Yes. So to be fair, there, especially when you think culturally how much different the world was between 56 and 82, right? It's like such a huge leap that's always like, yeah, it's a remake, kinda, but So I feel like though, also it was based on a short story, and I don't know how you feel, but remakes to me aren't as. I don't feel as strongly about them if they're based on, say, a book or another existing entity like a play or something, because I feel like it's like Shakespeare. We can have multiple versions of Romeo and Juliet. We can have multiple versions of Pet Sematary. It's just they all suck compared to the 89 version. So that's what I'm saying, but that's just my opinion. But that being said, the Thing prequel, I liked it, dude. Like I was shocked, and I loved how it goes right into the 82 version.
Yeah.
I liked it way more than I thought.
And they're not. They give you all the right Easter eggs without. I feel like they weren't just.
No, it didn't feel like just
beating you over
annoying, pandery fan service. No, I didn't feel like that.
Right.
Jay, what's up, Jay? You've watched Worst Joel, believe me. Oh, I'm sure I have. I am sure I have. That is probably the understatement of the millennia. All right. Quiet Place Day 1. Speaking of prequels. We are getting a Quiet Place prequel. Now, the only things that I'd be interested in this is, so Krasinski is one of the co-writers. Brian Woods which I can't remember. Was he the because I know Krasinski wrote the first two movies with somebody else, I believe. I'm pulling that out of my butt here, so I could be wrong. Michael Sarnowski and he did a movie called Pig with Nicolas Cage. If you've not seen it, see it. It's like this indie film. It's good. I like that movie. I liked it a lot, actually. But it's got, I'm going to hopefully say this right, Jimon Hansu, who I think is a fantastic actor. Love him. Joseph Quinn, who, if memory serves, wasn't he the guy who played Eddie in the last season of Stranger Things? Is that who that is?
Yes.
Yeah, there he is. Yes. Yep, Eddie. Look at me pulling it out of my butt. And I was right. Let's see, Dennis O'Hare, Alex Wolff from Hereditary. I know him from Hereditary. Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o.
Dennis O'Hare, I think, is one of the most underrated actors on the planet. By the
way, what do I know him from?
American Horror Story. I don't know if you guys got into.
I started it. It just didn't do anything for me. If I'm being
How
honest.
Dare you?
I know, dude. Didn't do nothing for me. Sorry. No. Yeah, he's got 99 credits. I should know him from something. Good God. Because the guy
he is some, in my opinion, like he has the range. I shit you not, in my eyes, of like a Gary Oldman.
Okay. Wow. That's a high bar, sir.
I know.
Okay. And they said Lupita Nyong'o, who I think is fantastic. Obviously, I feel like movie fans know who she is. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's got the people are there, and I loved the first two Quiet Place movies. I thought were fantastic. I love the second one. I thought was really good. And I had no idea how the hell they were going to do that after the first. I was like, how could the second one be any good? But yeah, so that's one we're getting that I have reservations, but I felt the same way about the second Quiet Place. I had reservations and I was proven wrong, and I am happy to be proven wrong if the movie ends up not sucking.
Sure.
So let's see here, because there's one specific one.
What's next?
Okay, so let's go to this one because it's not, I think they're saying it's not considered a sequel, but it kind of seems like it's going to be a sequel. I think it's that whole hence my putting that annoying requels thing in there. By the way, this I feel like the snarkiness couldn't come through in my title. I think my original thing was going to be like and blah blah blah. But let's see here. Okay, you ready? Under the banner of why is Twisters?
Yes. I did hear about this one. I'm super excited.
Yes. Oh, hold on. We got a question. Tony, what's up, Tony? Says, what up, Gilman? What's up with the poltergeist clown? Is it a poster or the real thing? I'm looking at it right now. It's in a display case. One of my children asked me if there would be a lock on it. I said no. It is a full-sized replica of the poltergeist clown, made by one Tammy Kane from Fatal Images Effects. Tyson introduced me to her, and actually the same day he introduced me, she had a poltergeist clown, she had Annabelle, she had is it Billy? Is that the name of the Saw?
The Saw puppet, yeah.
Yeah, the Saw puppet Billy. She had Sam from Trick or Treat, and the nun, and I don't think she had the new Pennywise yet at that point.
Maybe not. But did you see what she's working on for this summer? Have you seen her updates, her social media posts?
Should we spoil it? I don't know if we should spoil it. Well, she put it on social media, so obviously she wanted people to know
it. Well, and I think we need to say that her work is amazing. So there's no reason that you and I, especially, should not be excited for this.
Correct.
But she is. I don't know if she started yet, but she said she's hoping by this summer to have a full-size replica of a xenomorph.
I think so. I saw that, but I also think she's been talking about doing Pumpkinhead too.
I know she's been talking about that.
That
would be my
every ounce of my being to not like how much, and then go. I can't afford that. Okay, let's see.
You're gonna have to remodel your house to fit it in.
I was gonna say I don't know where the hell I put it either. There's okay, hold on. We got a couple more things here. So Tony says that's badass. Well, thank you, Tony. Yes, her work is badass, and I love it. It's really cool. I don't think because the problem is I'm trying to do this from a laptop, and I'll probably end up like destroying the entire. There he is. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there in the shop. So yeah, I have like this little one of those smart light bulbs above it that does like that I could change the colors, and so sometimes I like just have it doing like red and green and blue, like the color, like circus colors, and it freaks my kids out. So it's awesome. Let's see here. And Gamma says, can a concept as thin as Twister really be said to have a prequel sequel? How many movies could we claim Rock Hits Earth is a sequel to? Fair enough. All right, I'll get to that in a second. I actually skipped over Daniels. Let me do Daniels. That cloud is like a scarecrow for kids. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, when I first brought it home, without a hint of irony, one of my kids said, is there a lock on that display case, Dad? I was like, no. And then they just paused. I was like, you don't have to come out here. No one's making you come out. And there may have been temptation to occasionally pull it out and put it under someone's bed and have the arms, but I didn't do that because I'm not a horrible person. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So back to Gamma's point. Gamma, first off, hey man, how you doing? JD is happy to hear from Gamma as well. Get him, JD. Get him. So
what is it out there, boo?
So this is the beauty of a live stream, folks.
My mic.
Oh yeah, mute you. So I agree with you. Now I love the first Twister. And even we I could speak. We rewatched it about a year and a half ago with the kids. They hadn't seen it yet, and I still love it. Yes, it's cheesy. Yes, I had the soundtrack when the soundtrack came out. I listened to that a lot. I love that movie. I love that Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it. I love that Sean Whalen's in it. I love that movie. Without Bill Paxton, though, and I'd be very surprised if Helen Hunt returns. I mean, maybe like a cameo. But according to this, so it's being directed by Lee Isaac Chung. And it says an update to the 1996 film Twister, which centered on a pair of storm chasers who risk their lives in an attempt to test an experimental weather alert system. This one I actually did a little bit of research because, again, I'm a fan of.
And I was going to ask you, what does update mean?
Okay,
does that mean reboot, reimagining, prequel, requel? Blah, 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 blah.
I think this is a true requel in the sense that it's going to be. They're not going to erase what the first movie was, which, let's be frank, who cares? There was barely a story. But that's aside for a second. I love the first one. They're not going to erase it, so at least they're not going to be disrespectful. But this is more about wanting to follow a new group around, taking advantage of the new technology that's there. My only catch, here's the catch. The gimmick of the first Twister was the effects, because up to that point, we had never gotten that like CGI nature kind of, like, it wasn't done to that degree yet. So part of the gimmick of that and the novelty of that movie, whereas now it's like, okay, we know it's good, how it's going to look. Now, maybe they'll do it in such a way that'll be obvious, because you go back, that is a little dated. Obviously, the effects are dated by today's standards, but they don't look horrible. I mean, they're not like the worst thing. And I also am a huge Jan de Bont fan because he made Speed. And even though he also made Speed 2 and The Haunting from 1999, which I loathe, I think he's a fantastic DP, and I love Speed and Twister. So that being said, we'll see. I'm not getting my hopes up, but it's possible it won't.
Well, and that's the thing. I feel like that's one of those. Honestly, how could you really be disappointed with that? I feel like,
I mean, at the end of the day, people, I remember when in 96, I was 20 when that first one came out. And I remember all of the people saying like, oh my God, there's no story, blah, blah, blah. I was like, who gives a crap? It's just like, it's a roller coaster, right? It's all it's meant to be.
Man.
Tony says, I need to get a clown with the evil face. We need to rob me under the bed. Funny enough, Tammy has told me, that she could hook me up with that face and possibly make it to where I could switch them out. So I'll talk. So I don't want to give it away yet, but actually, and Tyson, I think you know this. I hope so, or I'm gonna feel bad if I'm like announcing it here and you didn't know. But I'm pretty sure we talked about this already. She and her husband Howard are actually coming into the shop very, very soon, and I'm going to enter them here. I'm going to interview them here. Oh, I know. I quit. How dare you, sir? Which, by the way, you have an open invite if you can make it. Cool. Yeah, because she actually had. Well, I don't take it personally. The first thing she said was, "Is Tyson coming?" I was like, "No, I don't think he's gonna make it. Sorry, just me." But that being said, she will be here. She's gonna bring it. She's going to bring in a couple of her items for us to show off. And her husband, Howard, I don't know if I'll do it as like a separate video with them, but I'm going to try to get him to tell me some Starship Troopers stories, because he actually was an extra in Starship Troopers. So that'll be fun. Yeah. But yes, I'm going to also talk to her about what would be involved in me getting that thing. So I agree with you. I think it would be. Initially, I didn't. I just wanted the regular clown, because I thought I was going to put him in like a rocking chair, like put him in a corner, but then I realized it's better just to have him standing in the against the wall, because room being what it is. Real estate. Let's see here. We got Jay saying, you like Twister but not Tango and Cash. There's something better on here. Fair enough. I don't know why. I on paper, everything about Tango and Cash, it's mullet, Kurt Russell in his prime, man. This is Jack Burton, McCready, Kurt Russell, and I like Tequila Sunrise, Kurt Russell. I remember I watched it for the first time during Forgotten Flicks with Jason Grooms, and he loved it. I think he did. Maybe not. My memory's fuzzy on that. But I remember coming in going, I wanted to love this movie, and I was just like, and maybe it caught me at a bad time.
Wait a minute. Time out.
It's been years. Yes.
So you're telling me the first time you saw Tango and Cash was not as a 10-year-old boy?
Correct.
Well, then does it even? It's
well, because you're admitting it's cinematic nostalgia disorder. That is what you're saying.
I'm saying that as an 11-year-old, for Christmas I asked for a pair of Kurt Russell boots with a knife that came out.
Okay,
or a gun boot.
I think it's a fair statement to say.
No, it was a gun boot.
That's
at that age. That was an amazing movie.
If I had seen that movie at like as a kid, 12, 13, 14, whatever. Yes, I would probably still love it and acknowledge I see it.
You don't know shit.
but I've noticed there have been certain movies that we covered back then that I've revisited, and I'm like, God, what was like? I just was in a bad mood or something because you know what I mean. Like, you revisit a movie sometimes and you have a totally. So who knows? Maybe we'll cover it at some point, and I'll reassess.
If you miss something in the heyday, then I mean, I think by the very definition, you are immune from cinematic nostalgia disorder.
Yeah.
With that particular project, and I feel like that's the case.
I don't think so. I have made an argument. There's something called retroactive C&D. I had it for
we talked. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, My Demon Lover with Scott Valentine. I totally had retroactive C&D with that movie because I remember the poster as a kid. I always wanted to see it, and I never did. And then years passed, and I couldn't find it. I found it, watched it for the show, and I loved it in the same way that I would have loved it had I saw it as a kid. It was weird. I don't know how to explain it. It was just weird.
We talked about that with Vamp too. Because I didn't see Vamp until like this last October. That's like a perfect example of retro C&D.
Yes, 100% retro.
I see your point.
So Tony,
I mean, you're still wrong about Tango and Cash. You're still wrong, but
I probably am. So hold on, Tony, for you, man. I'm going to do this. Hold on. So he says, looks kind of evil, but hard to see. Let's see if I can do this without completely shutting down the stream. We'll see. If not, then buy in advance. All right, here we go. I'm going to see if I can go over here. Move my camera that stopped working out of the way.
You know how awesome it would be if you turn the camera, and I just think it would be hilarious, like if all your kids were like chained up and like with pickaxes, like from Temple of Doom, and you had them like working like slave labor.
Kali Ma. All right, let's see here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it goes. He's pretty tall. Got the long arms and the long legs.
That's a 1-to-1 scale.
Yeah, baby. So yeah, no, he's great. Now what's funny is I've seen the actual class. There's I think there's 2 of them, and I think Sean Clark owns one. I think, and it's funny because the outfit is pink now because apparently whatever the dye was that they used faded. Because I remember seeing it thinking,
makes sense.
Why is it pink? So apparently there's 2 separate ones, and they made some of the faces were different because they were handmade apparently. So the person, I can't remember the name of the artist who made it, but yeah, and actually the 2 different ones have, not just because it's evil, they had different faces for that too. But I think the 2 that were made, even if you look at them like side by side, they look a little bit different. But yeah, no, I love it. I love the clown. It's great. Let's see here. Tony says Tango Cash is money. Great movie. I see. I am in the minority here apparently,
right.
Which is fair.
You're wrong.
I don't get liking a movie because of nostalgia. Well, then we'll have to agree to disagree on that one, Tony, because that is a condition I suffer from, cinematic nostalgia disorder. Yeah, I definitely do. I feel like a lot of people probably do. You're lucky if you don't, quite frankly. Now, if the case had been empty, yes, Gamma, that would have been awesome. That would be. Hey, let me show you that. See, this would be like the Screen Life found footage thing. Like if we're talking, I go, "Oh, let me show you guys," and I showed you kind of earlier, right? When he was there, and I should have timed this to have somebody come take him out. So then when I got up to turn it, he's gone. I've been like, what? Oh, and then we add in the sound effect of like feet, and then show the arm around my neck and the screen, just the bars again. Yeah, you just hear sounds of me being strangled. Data says, if you shrink your camera windows, we can get a great shot of the clown in the background. Probably true. I'm going to try to actually put it in the background when I interview Tammy too. So that's the game plan. Oh, that's also.
We should have started a whole backstory and put like a live feed camera and just in the corner so you can watch to see.
Oh yeah, and we'll do like
one of those live ghost hunter shows.
Yeah, we're like there was is it Meagle? Isn't it? You know what I'm talking about? There's a video. This is how old I am. I don't even know what the kids are using today. It's called Meagle, I think. I think that's what it's called. I can see you pronounce it,
I
but
don't
it's
know
like a
what you're talking
video thing where you can like you chat with people and you move in and out of like the. Anyway, I've watched on YouTube. People have done these. Oh, hold on. Gamma says 5 nights at Joel's. Yeah, which sounds oddly dirty if you think about it. But see, Tony says, be cool if she made a Brundlefly one. Oh yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, it would.
Oh my god, that I'm gonna. I'm already. Look, I'm already. I don't want to give
Like
anything
with
away.
like with the pod, too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like
Coming
it
out
show
of
it.
the
Yeah,
pod.
coming out. And
could
then you have
do-
the steam, the
you could
fog
do
coming out. Oh my god.
Fog, yeah, fog machine. Oh,
Actually, I almost gave up the thing I've been asking her to make for me. I don't want to because what she does, I want to debut.
I know what
it.
you're gonna say.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I'm trying. Here's the hint.
Does it start with a B? I
You
think?
know it does. Yes. But I won't say anything else. We'll just leave it there. Okay. That probably was too much information. All right, but all right. So let's move on. Let's see. I already did. This was the Twisters. Okay. I will remove that from the stage. We're getting towards the end here. Where you go. So how about this one? Because in this one, we're getting now into the realm of I'm okay, because this is actually an existing property that being developed for, I hate the modern audience BS because it's bullshit.
Mhm.
But I think that for updating it based on where we are with technology and the potential for this telling the story in a different way, but it will be extraordinarily hard to top the original. I know they did with sequels in a TV show. We those of us that watched some of those know how that all turned out.
Schindler's List.
It is a Schindler's List 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Go to hell.
I feel like that may be viewed in bad taste by some. But whatever. I don't care. Let's see here. Add to screen. The Crow. The main reason why I'm excited about The Crow, it's not because of who's behind it or anything else. I'm sure I'll end up not. Something will go sideways and I will like.
The cast looks solid.
Dude, Bill Skarsgård, a.k.a. Pennywise. This guy with that amazing face is playing freaking Eric Draven. Picture him as
I like Danny Houston too.
Think about
he's another one that's
he was on
underappreciated,
Yellowstone.
in my opinion.
He was on Yellowstone, wasn't he? He was the rich billionaire a-hole that
And
Kevin Costner.
He's still 30 Days a Night, one of my favorite.
Oh, I haven't seen that
vampires.
forever. That's a good
Dude,
movie. I've only seen that once,
the main.
and I haven't seen it in
Mhm.
years. But I love that movie. That's a great movie. That's a great vampire flick. They
Still,
actually
my
Vampire
kid,
Spirit.
my kid's getting into Twilight. Ava's into
I'm
Twilight
sorry.
right now, so I keep telling her. I know. So I said, Daddy's got a vampire movie.
We got a vampire movie for you, honey.
If you want to see what real vampires look like.
Speaking of glitter, these don't glitter. But I'm sorry. I think Bill Skarsgård, who I thought was also awesome in Barbarian, and
yeah.
Wait, hold on. I won't say what we're there. I love Tony says basket case. What? No. Why would you think that, Tony? I can't confirm nor deny. I feel like I'll go into politician mode. I can neither confirm nor deny whether that's what it is. But let's see. So Bill Skarsgård, I think, dude, first of all, I think he's phenomenal as an actor.
Yeah.
I thought he was great Barbarian. He's look, I still prefer Tim Curry as Pennywise and the dancing clown, but I cannot deny that his Pennywise is almost like he was too scary. It's like the one in the 90s, the Tim Curry one, his voice, everything is what made but he looked kind of innocuous at first, unless you're just generally afraid of clowns. But Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise from the jump, man, you're like, no,
yes.
But it's great. So him as Draven is great casting. Like I love Brandon Lee, and I love Brandon Lee as that character. But if you go back and look at the graphic novel that James O'Barr did, perfect casting.
I don't want to jump the gun here either, but seeing Bill Skarsgård so I don't know what your list looks like, but I wonder if there's something else coming up that you're going to include as a reboot, because let's just say there's another Bill Skarsgård project this year that I'm very excited for.
Is it a King related one?
No.
Okay, because they're supposed to be doing like a prequel to It, which seems like
Yeah,
we'll see. We know how prequels that Stephen King go. Well,
I'm not going to bullshit.
Bloodlines.
It's the Nosferatu is what I was referring to.
We might have that on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
We might have that in the agenda. We'll
Well, damn it, Danny, you don't
well,
always feel like an
well,
asshole.
you know what? You know what? I was gonna save that for last. Actually, it's not true. I was gonna. It was actually one of the next one I was going to. So why don't we just go ahead and jump to.
For the record, though, yeah, I would be excited to see, based strictly to your point on the cast, I'm excited about The Crow as well.
Yes. So Robert Eggers of The Vitch and Lighthouse fame, which I still haven't seen Lighthouse, man. Have you seen Lighthouse yet? I still haven't seen it. You did see it?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like it? See, here's what's weird. I think I probably would like The Lighthouse. The Witch or The Vitch, I thought was beautifully shot. I thought beautifully acted. I love the fact that they went all in on the dialogue. It reminded me of like how the Coens did in True Grit, how they refused to have any of the characters use contractions because I guess contractions weren't as common back then. So everyone speaks very proper and whatnot. But I did not find The Witch nearly as terrifying as everyone else did. I remember everyone talked it up, and I went into it and went, yeah, it was good. I didn't hate it.
You know what's bad though? I feel exactly like you do, and I will, for whatever reason, it's one of those movies though where I've probably seen the sumbitch 5 or 6 times.
Really,
it's like one of those movies that I will put on and thinking like, okay, well, this time it's gonna scare me.
Did you see that he did a short of Telltale Heart? Oh crap! I want to find that. Oh, he was a production designer on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was an animated version of Telltale Heart.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
I love it. My favorite Robert Eggers project by far has been The Northman. And
I haven't seen that, but it's on my list. Like I've got it like logged up in my queue. I really want to see it. It looks really good.
Really, only because I've really got into the whole. I mean, right now I'm big into the Viking Norse mythology and speaking of fringe religions and stuff, paganism and all that kind of stuff. So that's part of the reason why I was infatuated with it. I didn't see it when it came out. So I mean, I just watched it like a month ago. That tells you where my head was at when it came out.
I really want to see it. So real quick, I'm going to come back to Daniel's comment because he has something pertaining to Nosferatu, but real quick, Eric, welcome Eric Shaw. Just dropping in for a sec to say hi. Eric, welcome, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. And let's see. So Daniel says, if Nosferatu isn't horror, nothing is. Yeah. And the fact that if memory serves, let's see here. Have they said who's playing? Oh yeah. Bill Skarsgård is playing. That's why you brought it up. I'm such a dope. I completely forgot he was playing Count Orlok. Again, great casting. Great. And I love that Willem Dafoe, who was in, was it Shadow of the Vampire? Wasn't that what it's called? The where it was like the making of, and he played Count Orlok.
John Malkovich.
John Malkovich was in it. And I remember liking that. There's some people that I think Doc Shock and I think Wolfman just absolutely went gaga for that movie. And I liked it. It's good, but I don't remember living. Now, Aaron Taylor Johnson, is he the dude that's supposedly up for James Bond? I think he is. I think he's supposedly up for the new James Bond. That's what I've heard. Let's see, upcoming. Oh, Fall Guy. Oh, he's going to be, he is, because he's going to be Kraven the Hunter. And whoever was going to be Kraven the Hunter, that was supposedly. And the rumor is Christopher Nolan wants possibly to do James Bond and do it like a trilogy and do it like old school, going back to like the 60s with the old tech. I was like, honestly, I dig that idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in the minority on that, but that sounds like got potential. So we'll see. But yeah, I am super stoked for Nosferatu. I've seen nothing of it. I know they got a few stills here, but I don't even want to look at them. But
Johnny Depp's daughter too, right?
Is that the Emma Corrin? Or is that Lily Rose Depp. Yeah, okay, I see her. Yeah. Apparently so. I don't know what that character, I guess Ellen.
Ralph Ineson, he's from The Vitch, and
was he the father?
Game of Thrones.
Was he the father of the Vitch? Yeah, okay. Paul Maynard, I don't know if I recognize him. Simon McBurney sounds like that guy looks kind of familiar, but none of these are like, that's what I love is like when they cast people, and obviously Bill Skarsgård is going to be, and I'm sure Willem Dafoe even then, they'll probably do a decent amount of makeup. Oh, and Nicholas Hoult. I just noticed he was, Nicholas Hoult as well. Very cool. All right. That's top tier. Like I'm actually, and again, that's first off, the original Nosferatu was Dracula, right? And like to the point of getting sued. And the fact that, again, that's the Dracula story. You could do multiple versions of that story as far as I'm concerned. That's not it's a remake. Yeah. But I mean, also we got the one, in 79, right? Was it Herzog? Was it a
Werner
Herzog? Yeah.
Klaus Kinski.
Yes. So
I have that on VHS. I love it, by the way. So
cool.
Great. One of the greatest, if you can get it on vinyl, one of the greatest horror soundtracks, just for that, like, macabre / gorgeous ambiance.
You know, one of my great shames is
I just coined that phrase.
Yeah. You know, one of my great shames is to add to my list of great shames. I have not seen that Nosferatu version. No, I've seen the original.
I want you to see it because that is going to be one that you were getting. So, I mean, have you seen other Werner Herzog?
I've only seen a couple things. Actually, so Dave Becker wanted me to be on his DVD infatuation as somebody who has an appreciation for Herzog, but I feel like I've almost seen Herzog more as an actor. I've seen Grizzly Man. I've seen a couple of his documentaries, but I haven't seen a lot of his stuff. No, and I really wish how
there was a trend there for a while, and I guess to a certain degree still is, where people were trying to do art films.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like the only person I know of that truly can do, like,
it's almost like he does them because he's not a pretentious ass. Now, maybe some people find him. I don't find him. I feel like he doesn't put up with BS. But
Nosferatu the Vampire is, to me, a love or hate kind of movie. I mean, I can see how some people say it's boring as hell. I'm just going to throw that out there, but I think it's gorgeous. And there's this weird. You know what? You haven't seen it. I want you to watch.
Don't tell me anything. I've seen the Frank Langella. I've seen the Frank Langella one. Back in, that was around the same time, right? Was that the Nosferatu that Herzog did? Was that like 76 or 77 or somewhere in there, right? And then 79 is the Frank Langella one. I've seen that one. Hold on, we got Gamma here who says every big actor is up for Bond until they get too big. See Tom Holland. I'm not gonna lie, Tom Holland. That would have been. I would not have liked that at all, dude. And I like Tom Holland. It's nothing personal. I want to believe on some level James Bond could easily kill me. And maybe all of them could, including Tom Holland. But I just feel like he's Spider-Man and he looks like a kid to me. I just don't want that. That's a personal thing. HEJ will only get it if the Kraven movie is meh. Too big and he's too expensive, flops, and then he's not desirable. Which there's a part of me that hopes it doesn't flop because I've been hearing good rumblings and I'm so over superhero movies. But if one came out that didn't suck, I would be interested.
I read Tom Holland. My mind immediately thought Tom Hardy. I'm like,
Actually, I heard he was up for it at one point too. But to Gamma's point, Tom Hardy got too big too. I think Tom Hardy got too big too. He's right. I agree with him. I think that's because Daniel Craig, I think, was in that sweet spot when they put him in Casino. And again, Daniel Craig, I believe, could kill me. Totally buy it. That's what I wanted. I know Carol
is a great representation of. Did we talk about this? Did you read any of the original Ian Fleming novels?
No, I haven't.
He is the
visually.
So the prose version of James Bond. It was like perfect, like just not overly suave, but just like a gritty, like freaking. Well, they even in one of the movies, she even refers to him as a blunt instrument. You know what I mean? That is what James Bond is supposed to be.
Yeah, and I feel like
polished, but never. There's always going to be something about Bond, or there should be anyway, where you can be classy, you can know how to go out and order food and wine and know all that shit, but at the same time, you know what I mean? You're never going to be I almost said like Bruce Wayne. I don't know, but anyway,
I know what you mean.
Separate conversation. You know what I mean, though? Like, there's always got to be that edge, that roughness to the perfect James Bond, I feel like.
All right, we got a few more left, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. Let me go ahead and add the next one to the queue. I think we'll go with another. This one is a sequel, and it is a direct sequel. And I don't care when I think about who's behind it and who's involved. I'm excited. Everybody can kiss my grits. Beetlejuice 2. I am happy. My 12-year-old self who saw it in the theater in 1988 is happy because Michael Keaton is back. Apparently Willem Dafoe and Monica Bellucci's in it. Come on. I think Jenna Ortega.
Willem Dafoe again, man. The dude got a Hollywood star. Now he's on a big old coke bender of a
allegedly
year too, right? Like, holy shit.
But I think
I was going to say Winona Ryder wasn't mentioned up top, but I knew.
But Winona Ryder's returning as Lydia. Catherine O'Hara's back. I know why Jeffrey Jones isn't back, but there's a part of me that kind of still wishes he was. Let's see. Let's see here. Why? Anybody else down here at the bottom? Not, but that I think Jenna Ortega as Lydia's daughter is great casting. I think her because she's
Fantastic.
Wednesday, right? She's great as Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and then Monica Bellucci is playing Beetlejuice's wife. So Beetlejuice is very lucky. He's a very lucky ghoul.
Yes.
And I don't know Willem Dafoe. It's interesting. Doesn't have a character.
Speaking of beautiful women from Dracula projects, right?
Oh, that's right.
Monica
Yeah,
Bellucci.
that's right. So Willem Dafoe. It doesn't say who he's playing, which is interesting. I wonder
Doesn't
why.
matter.
No, I think it's and Justin Theroux too. They've got a couple characters where they don't have. So it makes me think like, are they doing that for spoilers, or are they doing that for something else? I don't know why they would.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, but anyway, Tim Burton is directing it. It's got Alfred Goh, who I think did he write the '89 Batman? I'm pretty sure he's a writer on Wednesday. I know he's written.
No,
with
you're
him.
thinking of Alfred. That's
that's right.
Bruce Wayne's butler.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. But I'm saying Alfred Goh as a writer.
I'm messing with you. I know.
I know that. But I think what I am thinking isn't the guy who played Alfred in that '89 Batman? Was it Michael Gough? Gough? I think it might be. I'm pulling that out of my butt again. But this Gough wrote Time Cop, Lethal Weapon 4, which it was meh. Shanghai Noon.
I love Time Cop though.
Yeah, Time Cop's fun. Spider-Man 2, which honestly still up there as like one of my favorite superhero movies. I love Spider-Man 2.
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? You're wrong. You're wrong, sir. But he's written some decent stuff. He's written some decent stuff. And Seth Graham Smith, isn't he the one that did is it the Abe Lincoln Vampire? Or am I thinking?
Yes.
Friday Bridges and Zombies.
He did several of those.
He did those. So
great books, by the way.
He also worked on It. He did, and David Katzenberg. I'm trying to think, what did David Katzenberg?
Excuse me.
He worked on It. He was a producer. Oh, the Child's Play reboot, whatever it was, which I didn't hate. I just didn't know why call it Child's Play. If you're not going to have it be like voodoo based, the one with Mark Hamill did the voice. Yeah. And I didn't hate it as an idea.
That's what I said. There was I didn't hate it. I actually liked it. It was just, but to your point, there was something.
Why call it?
Yeah,
but you know why? Because they're trying to ride the coattails of the original. I get it, but it's just annoying to me. And I'll tell you what. More to the point, that Megan was better to me because of that. Like I loved Megan because it was that basically same kind of movie, but because I didn't have any baggage around it, it felt like its own thing.
I'll tell you who loves them some Megan.
Oh God, let's not go there. God bless Jay. Jay. I know he's a good person, but some of the things he says, I'm like, do you hear yourself at all? Like at all? Before these thoughts come out, man. All right, see here. Gamma says, what are the odds it opens with Beetlejuice finally getting to his number in line in the afterlife? That's a good point. I didn't even think about that when you think about how the original ended. Yeah, that's a great point, Gamma. Great point. Tony
looks like I'm next.
My butt must hurt with all that you're pulling out of it tonight. Maybe it does, Tony. Maybe it doesn't. Let's see. Daniel says, I thought he wasn't scared of dolls. Are you referring to me? Are you referring to... I'm kind of marginally scared of dolls. Though weirdly not the poltergeist clown. Go figure. I don't know. Actually, the one I'm scared of, and it's kind of hard to see, but actually was given to me by Allison. She's right there. She's hiding. It's meant to be like a Dark Shadows. It was meant for Halloween, but it's a little vampire, like Dark Shadows doll that she like retrofitted and sent to me. And, Jay. Well, Jay is. I don't know if Jay's scared of dolls. Maybe I know because remember his whole theory is anything that's small, like a evil child or a doll, he can just kick their ass, so he's not scared, which I think is bogus, and I think it's him coping. But no, it's more like. Where the conversation went in regards to Megan as like a different type of doll, and it was like, I guess she's inanimate, dude. She still looks like she's 12. Ew. Sorry. Anyway, sorry, not sorry. All right, let's see here. And yeah, he said Jay, but I think Jay's like, oh, I'm not scared of doll. You kick their ass, man. I got a purple belt. I wish he was here. I don't know anybody that's listened to him on his other shows. They mocked him.
Sweep the leg, Jay.
Yeah. They mocked him relentlessly because he would brag about having a purple belt. Okay, I'm gonna do. All right, I'm gonna hold off on one that's probably not gonna be good at all, but I want your reaction to it. So the next one,
all right.
This is not quite our penultimate. We only got a couple left though. Let me add it to the stream. real quick. Here we go. All right. This one, because of who's behind it, I'm looking forward to. And that is Alien Romulus. Do you know about this one?
Wait, was this is this
Fede Alvarez
show?
We're getting both. We're getting both. We're
Okay.
getting a movie and a TV show. The TV show, they're not related. The TV show has given me some hope because Ridley Scott's producing it, but the guy behind it, the showrunner, recently, I guess, did an interview where he talked about how, first off, his is going to take place. They basically brought up, okay, since Ridley Scott's involved, is it going to deal, is the stuff from Prometheus or Alien Covenant and the whole, the idea of these things really just being a bioweapon and not that old, blah, blah, blah. And I think in a very way that you would, I guess you'd have to talk around it when Ridley Scott's your executive producer, but he basically said, no, he's not. That does not interest him creatively. He likes the world of the first couple of Alien movies, and he talked about retrofuturism, where you get that old, like when you see a movie,
space.
Yes, where you get like in 1979, the original Alien. We go back and watch it now. Even then, maybe some of that tech probably seemed modern, but by today's standards, it's not. But yet, weirdly, because of the world it's in, we kind of accept it. But then you go watch Prometheus, which is supposed to take place like way before, yet their tech is more like what our tech is now. And his point was that doesn't work from a timeline perspective and creatively for him, which I was happy to hear. But what's cool about Romulus, a couple things. One, it's supposed to take place between Alien and Aliens, all right? And Fede Alvarez, who did the Don't Breathe movies. I know he directed the first one, produced and wrote the second one, which I love both of them very much. And he did the Evil Dead 2013, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. And he produced and co-wrote, I think, although I think the guy who directed the Chainsaw Massacre from 2022, which I was a fan of. I know I was in the minority, but the main reason was, if you've not seen that movie, the very ending, the fact that it did what it did, I was like, yes. There's some things about this movie I had a problem with, but immediately threw it all out the window with that ending. I loved the ending of that movie. It's so messed up.
But you hated Tango and Cash.
I didn't hate it. I wished I liked it more, was my exact words. All right.
So that... Yes. I'm super excited about this as well. Here's the thing, man. I will go to bat for any installment in the Alien franchise.
Well, what's interesting is the knock on it. I've been hearing people.
The universe.
It was apparently it's been pitched to some degree as a slasher film in space, but considering the original was sort of pitched as a haunted house movie in space, I don't have a problem with that. Plus, Fede Alvarez. If you haven't seen Don't Breathe, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Sorry. I think, or Evil Dead 2013. I feel like those two movies by themselves.
And if you're referring to an Alien film as a slasher in space, I'm all in.
Yeah, who's gonna be what horror fans gonna be like? Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm fine with it. So
we've the Alien universe has gotten so. I mean.
It's gotten too big. I want it come back down.
I see what you mean, but video games and stuff like that.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
had this conversation recently. Yes. Like, there are some fantastic stories to be told, and see, the danger here is that I have extremely high hopes for this.
I'm not. Look.
You know what I mean?
Weirdly, my hopes are high because of Fede Alvarez. That being said, I am going in.
I say that to say this, where. Even if it doesn't meet my expectations, I mean, it would have to be a giant steamer.
Oh yeah, it'd have to be really like a complete cluster. Yeah. And also I love the end of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it was in the trailer, which I wish they hadn't spoiled it, when Leatherface comes on the bus with all of the like the Gen Zers and they start filming him, and the guy's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do, man? You'll be canceled," or he says something to that effect, and then it just cuts to Leatherface shoving the saw.
I would fast forward to that part again and watch that. And
that's the only thing you liked, really? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What's her name? Whose face does he get? What's her
face?
Ghost Story.
Oh, Alice Creed.
Literally, what's her face?
Yes,
I love Alice Creed too.
No, you mean no. You mean the mother from Sleepwalkers is what you really meant to say. Or if Peter and Daryl were here, the Borg Queen or whatever the hell she is. All right, last one. Second to last. Yeah. The penultimate one here. Ready? I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to get your reaction because it is exactly what you think it is. You ready?
Yes. Dude, I can't take the anticipation. Are you shitting me? How? Number one. Okay. Laws help me. Hold on. A
reimagining of the 1986. Now, here's the only thing.
Ooh.
I just saw this, dude. Oh my God. No. Wait a minute. Chuck Russell's directing it. He did the 1988 The Blob. He did Dream Warriors. He did Eraser and The Mask. And it's written by Kevin Tenney. Now, I don't know if that's only because they're saying he gets like story credit. Hold on. Let me see. Is he just getting story credit or is it?
Excuse me.
Hey, Kevin Tenney made the original. Hold on. Let me see.
So maybe it's a true. Maybe they're doing a
based on characters created by. So they are basing it on the characters, but the fact that Chuck Russell's involved, dude, that I just noticed that. I didn't see that before. Before I was just gonna mock it relentlessly. Now I'm actually. I don't like the poster or whatever the hell that's supposed to be, though. Not compared to the original.
Oh, man.
Now let's see who's in it. Anybody we know?
My emotions are like.
I don't recognize.
It's scaring me.
Any of these folks yet. I don't recognize anybody, which in a way is good. I kind of like, I wonder, is this, it says Bishop Grogan, but I wonder if you made that guy's hair white, he would look like, what's his nuts? This evil spirit.
Malfader.
Yeah, Malfader. Thank you. Actually, is there a Malfader? I don't even see the name Malfader. Well, what the hell? I don't see a Malfader.
So what? I don't recognize any of these character names either. So what,
yeah, well, so how is it based on? Yeah, I know based on what characters, but okay. The main reason is
I got like excited because I'm like, because you know how I am about it, but it's like, oh man, I don't know. I don't know how to feel.
I'm trying to see what is he. Oh, he did the Scorpion King. Ugh, and Bless the Child. Ugh. But he did the Blob. And he did Nightmare on Elm Street 3. So he's got that going for him. The Mask is what
it's only been 40 fucking years, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, so anyway, I figured you'd appreciate when I saw that, I was like, oh, I gotta include that.
Here's the thing, you know what though? I'm gonna watch it and hopefully I love it, but if not, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, Jay says, whoa, WTF Witchboard. Yeah, I know. That was but again, Chuck Russell. It's like here's the worst part. It's like they give you just a morsel of hope. It's like, oh, maybe this won't suck. Maybe this has got somebody involved in it who's stuff in the past you have loved, Joel. But what's going to probably happen is you will not be happy.
So here's the thing. This is where I could. I mean, we could spend the whole night talking about this particular installment. I think we established that, especially for me. The original Witchboard.
Yes.
Obviously, this is one of my biggest C&D movies, right?
Yep.
Because
I will say that movie.
It has its flaws.
It does, but doesn't mean you still can't like it. You don't have to have C&D to like it.
No. Exactly. Well,
Munchies to the point where you own an Arnold. When you do what I did and you own an Arnold from Munchies, that's C&D. Legit.
Problems.
I'm gonna put him right here. Hold
on. Well, I mean, look, I don't. It's part of what made the original great was Malfader was creepy. So who knows what we'll get in a character. I don't think we need to go too in depth with Tawny Katane. If you want to know how we all feel about Tawny Katane, they'll give me like shameless plugging. Go back and catch what was that? Was that a Spooky Flicks Fest from this past year?
Yes,
episode?
We did. We covered it. Speaking of, hold on. So speaking of Pumpkinhead Peter Nielsen, I fell asleep on the couch, just woke up, going back to sleep. Just wanted to say hi. Hey, Peter. I'll be talking to you soon, my friend. Go back to sleep. You crazy Dane. But yeah, so
speaking of Vikings and Norse pagans.
Exactly. All right. Last thing. We'll keep this really short because we got to wrap it up.
Well, anyway, I'm excited about it, but I hate myself for it.
Yeah, I got you. No, I understand that. All right. Last thing is not a requel, but it is a movie that is about what might have been. And because of who it's about, I think we can both agree and we'll understand why I included this, even though it's not technically any. Ready?
Andy Gibbs story.
Hold on. Tawny Katane. That's good. So Peter's gonna go back to sleep. All right.
You're right. With
Here we go.
of
yes, ready?
White snake in his head.
Here he goes again on his own. And here we go again. George A. Romero's Resident Evil, a documentary that brings to light the vision that director George A. Romero had for an adaptation of Resident Evil using newly filmed interviews with those who were there and unravels the secrets behind why it was never produced. I remember when there was talk of that thing, and it would have been.
Is this getting a theatrical?
I don't know.
No way.
I don't know.
Can't be. Documentaries don't get.
Sometimes they do. I mean, usually like art house theaters and stuff, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this because
this looks cool.
Yeah, I
let me ask you: Have you seen a George Romero like a Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead documentary that you haven't liked yet?
No.
Go on Tubi right now. There's half a dozen guaranteed.
Even when it's just people sitting around a table talking about memories of it, it's still cool.
Yeah. So I mean, point is, such a fascinating guy that.
Oh yeah, I love Romero, man.
The subject matter, that's awesome. So I'm excited about this.
Yes.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
part of me
I revisited the original Resident Evil movie with Mia Jovovich recently because I showed it to my kids. My cousin, it's like he loves it. He loves all of the Resident Evil movies. He's a mite younger than we are, so it's definitely like in his C&D wheelhouse.
Sure.
But rewatching it, it's very much of its time, but it's actually fun. Like it's one of those Paul W.S. Anderson movies. He made all of those like Alien versus Predator, Soldier, speaking of with Kurt Russell, Event Horizon, which is a great movie. And it's not a great Resident Evil is not a great movie, but it's got its moments and it's fun. So plus then you also get Michelle Rodriguez, spoiler alert, when she goes full zombie doing one of those like neck crack, like I'm coming to kick your ass things.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
I think here's the thing. Video games, I think, are notoriously hard to adapt to because, especially when you're talking live action, they're tough to do. I mean, that's why I've said this numerous times. We were talking about aliens. The minute they come out with I'll tell you what, they need to do an Alien Isolation like miniseries.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like 12 episode miniseries would be badass. Anyway, I think that's.
I heard the actual Netflix. I've heard the Netflix series was not badass. I avoided it. Real quick. Let's see here.
The Resident Evil. Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't either. So Pumpkinhead Peter says we'll have nice streams now. Thank you for that. There's an image I needed. Toady says when we get a new Tear on the Tube. Actually, let me think.
Did one drop last week?
We had one drop last week, and I think we're trying to do one a month because we're going like only every couple months. I think we've already got it on the books to record the next one here in another week or two. I know it's like the early February. We'll have another one comes out like mid-February-ish. Let's see here. Gamma says, now if Cutthroat Island hadn't flopped, it might have starred Gina
Davis.
Mock all you will, but Long Kiss Goodnight rules. All right. Oh, Mia Jovovich. Jesus, Peter, go to bed. All right. Daniel says the problem with Resident Evil was that it was nothing like the game. Yeah, and I remember playing the original game on my PS2, I think it was. Silent Hill. That was my jam. I loved me some Silent Hill. Still have not seen those movies, though. Go figure. Never saw them. Those did come out when we were in the middle of all the baby stuff, if memory serves. I don't think
I could hook you up with some horror games that will have your children.
Well, I love the game. Silent Hill, the game. I played the whole thing, and that actually scared me back in the day. I love that game. Let's see. Oh, Michael Steinberg. Cool. Hey, guys. Hey, man. Great to see you here, my friend. All right, let's see here. We got Pumpkin Peter. Hey, I like the Resident Evil movies, and I said they were fun. The first one. I don't know if I may have seen the second one.
I think I have, but I think they're.
Yeah, I own like the first few.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do want to watch. I told my cousin at one point we'll just sit down with the kids and watch all of them. I don't know if that'll be a punishment. They liked it. They liked it in that ironic way, if we're being honest. All right, let's wrap this up. But Gamma says, now that Last of Us was a smash hit. Expect more video game adaptations. That's fair. And I still got to watch that. I've heard great things about that show. I've heard great things about that show, and I need to watch it. So it's on my agenda. See here. The newest Resident Evil movie follows the first 2 games, so I love it. Okay. There you go. Oh, that's right. That did just come out, didn't it? I was thinking, when did one come? Oh, that's right. Yes, I do remember. Let's see. Tony says, damn, how I missed it. Laugh out loud. I wrote a short story when I listened to 2 straight episodes of Terror on the Tube that were Ghost TV films, and Pearl really liked it. Cool. Oh, yes, that's right. I remember you said you wrote a short story and Pearl liked it. I remember actually you mentioning that. So, like I said, we just had the one come out. Was it? You know, it's funny. I feel like I have to check now. Hold on. I'm in Chrome. Let me just real quick, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. I'm looking this up for you, Tony, because we had the one that had Valerie Harper in it called Don't Go to Sleep. That one came out. And that was on Gen 10. Actually, you know what? Brain fart. We just recorded one that I haven't released yet. Wow, that's where my mind is, Tony. I'm an idiot, which I know you probably already knew, but still, I'm an idiot. We did one called The Old Man Who Cried Wolf, which is a fantastic. Like, I was shocked at how good it was. Movie from 1972, starring what's his name? Oh, come on, it's right there. Oh, Edward Robinson. Was that right?
As in Edward G. Robinson?
Yes, Edward G. Robinson. Yes.
Yes.
See? Yeah, see? I see that guy. Yeah. It's good. And it's got Arbogast from if Gamma's still on. Arbogast Psycho. Yeah. Don't forget to thumbs up the stream. Oh, if you're saying the stream, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Pumpkinhead says next Terror on the Tube will release on February 7th. I think if Peter wasn't here, Peter's like, son of I have got to follow this idiot around everywhere. Yeah, Martin Balsam. Thank you, Gamma. All I'm hearing is Arbogast. Martin Balsam, yeah. And he's great. I don't know. Hey, Gamma, I don't know if you're familiar with the man who cried wolf. The old man who cried wolf. Has nothing to do with werewolves, spoiler alert, but dang, was it good. Like it's an interesting film of its time. I'll just say that. I don't want to give anything away. It's really good though. Yes, Edward G. Robinson and Martin Balsam. Thank you, Peter. Peter's like, I can't go to bed. I got to babysit this moron. Cool. Looking forward to it. Will it be a video on here or just audio? No, both. I'm trying to do all of them now. And I don't know if Michael's still on, but yeah, I'm trying to do all of the shows now, both video and audio. And we're going to try to do at least one a month of each one. That's what I'm trying to commit to, so it doesn't start to feel like work. All right. I think we'll wrap it up. I think that was the last comment. So, yeah, let me go over here to my banners, close those out. And thank you one and all for being here for this live stream.
Yes.
For January. We will do this again in February. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to a place where we do it more. There's some shows that do it like, multiple times a week. I think the Film Threat guys do it like they're up to almost 3 times a week. I'm like, I know that's your job. I get it.
I don't like you near.
No, put up with that much. No. Yeah. There's some streams that they're just, it's crazy, man. I couldn't
this is fun. And I really liked coming in here without having done like zero homework for this one.
Yeah. It wasn't that much homework for me either, which was fun. So Daniel says, thank you. You're welcome. Sometimes we'll have people on with us, for guests and whatnot, but cheers, fellas. Thanks, Jay. Tony says, have a great night, guys. You too. And on that note, thanks. Yeah, everybody, we appreciate you being here and those that stuck around. And until we meet again, remember it, Mom and Pops, our love of on the spot. Pick something.
Double feature Terror from the Year 5000 and The Brain Eaters.
Oh, sure. Why not? Never stops.
Never stops.